In this video, we are going to talk about 3 differences between a high and true happiness. I am Pauline and I am so happy you are here because as a fearful avoidant, you probably experience highs and lows, but also highs quite a lot. And it can be hard, especially if you're healing the fearful avoidant attachment style, to distinguish the difference between a high and true happiness. And as you heal, you will move into true happiness more and more. And oh gosh, that feels so good to just have that true happiness. So in this video, we will talk about the difference so you start to see what a high is and what true happiness is. And first of all, the highs and the lows, you might not know what that is or where that comes from, but fearful avoidants tend to be in this cycle where they work really hard for approval, and then they have this high, and that can feel so good because it's actually a kind of like a hormone cocktail that gets released, and those are really good feeling hormones, um, and you can get addicted to that feeling, and so you want that again and you work for it and you get that high, but it also gets followed by lows. You have these crashes where you just feel worthless and just feel horrible. And fearful avoidance, out of all the attachment styles, usually have the most extreme highs and lows. So it just goes up and down and up and down, and on one moment you feel like you're on top of the world, and the next moment you feel just completely nothing. Um, and that can be really, really confusing. And a lot of fearful avoidants are actually afraid to lose that good feeling of a high when they start healing the fearful avoidant attachment style. And it can be a reason that you don't really allow yourself to heal the attachment style because you're so addicted in a way to that feeling, that high. I can tell you now from definitely having been addicted to the high feelings and even the low feelings, which is a whole different story in and of itself, um, that true happiness feels a million times better. And that is not an over exaggeration. Um, as soon as you truly start to experience true happiness, you will not miss those highs, because in a way, the true happiness is like, if the lows are here and the highs are here, then true happiness is here. It's like the feelings of the high moments, but even better without all the anxious feelings. And that brings me to the first difference, is that a high feels anxious. So think about it. The last time you've experienced a high, just assuming that you now kind of know what a high is, um, that felt really, really good, but it probably also had an anxious undertone. So there was this jittery feeling um, of it never being enough also. So you have that high and it feels really good, but it's also like a, oh gosh, this is so good, I want more of it, and I need to have this. Completely sounds like an addict, right? But that's really, truly what I felt when I had that high. Like, oh, this feels so good, I have to hold on to it. I have to feel this way um, all the time. And it was also almost never enough. It felt like the highs were just like normal, and then it had to be even better. It had to be even more in that moment. So there's always that anxious undertone to it. You are never quite relaxed in the high because thoughts are immediately creeping in that it's never enough. And the second difference is that right after the high, you want more. You want more of it. You want more highs. You want it more intensely. And you judge yourself that you don't always feel this way. You judge yourself that you don't feel it more intensely, that you can't hold on, that you can't just get it right. Even though that high is like a very unnatural thing and it's not something that you can sustain for a long time. Going back to the hormone cocktail, the hormones that are being released, they are not something that you want to have in high doses in your body all the time, because it will deplete a lot of your sources. Whereas true happiness will not deplete you at all. It will only feed you. So um, the the highs, lost the word there. The highs are based in fear. They are based in belief systems around not being good enough and um, having to be better, having to be perfect. So they are based in fear. That is why there's anxiousness involved, and that's also why there is adrenaline and stress involved. Whereas true happiness, some of the same hormones are involved, so dopamine and serotonin, but not the anxious part of it. So it feels so good. It feels so calm. It feels so peaceful. And you don't have this feeling of, uh, oh, this is great. I just need more. I need more. I need more. I need more. It's just, it's there, and you know it's there. So you don't need more of it. Does that make sense? I hope it does. And so the third difference between a high and true happiness is that a high is pretty much always dependent on approval from another person. So when I think back to the time where I was just living the highs and lows life and was very much addicted to this, it always had to do with approval from somebody else, and mostly men. So when a guy would give me approval, so he would either give me attention or would give me a compliment or would just give me a reason to believe that I may be good enough finally after all, I would get that high. I would feel so good. I would feel so good, especially when I had put him on a pedestal. So there is a difference here. As a fearful avoidant, you put people kind of like in boxes, and some people, their approval, you value way more than other people. And this all has to do with their emotional unavailability and their ability to criticize you, which in retrospect, it just sounds so sad in a way. But the more unavailable somebody was, the more their approval meant something to me. And the more they were able to criticize me, so to tell me things that I did wrong or ways I wasn't good enough, the more their approval meant to me. Whereas with guys that were just wonderful people and probably securely attached, if they would give me a compliment, that wouldn't really do anything for me. So the harder I had to work at it and the higher the risk of rejection was from somebody that could criticize me quite harshly, the higher the high was. Do you recognize this? So not all approval is created equal. And true happiness, as opposed to the highs, doesn't have anything to do with approval from other people, which is such a good thing because it means you get to have that power over your life. When you are in that cycle of highs and lows, you completely hand over power to other people in your life. And in my case, that was handing over people to men who were not securely attached, were not quite happy themselves. And I put all my happiness into their hands. And looking back on that, I think that might not have been the best strategy for a happy life. I now know that because true happiness, it comes from within. You don't need anyone's approval. And I remember as I was healing this, that felt like, oh, but that feels kind of like lonely, or it doesn't feel like fun. Gosh, releasing that high low dynamic is a whole nother topic, but it's quite hard because it really can be an addiction. It's not quite hard. I mean, it's very doable, but it was quite hard for me to figure out where it all came back in, the wanting the highs and lows. And as soon as I released that more and more and got into true happiness, that was just such a relief. And like I said, in the end, it felt so much better than the highs. So those are the three differences. But that doesn't mean that feeling a high is a bad thing. Do not ever, ever, ever make yourself wrong. You are not wrong for feeling good feelings. And when you judge those feelings as, oh, I should be feeling this because this is a high and it's not true happiness, you are pushing true happiness away even further. Do not make yourself wrong. Do not judge yourself. It doesn't matter where the feelings come from. It helps to see the pattern. But it doesn't matter if you feel good, allow it. Allow it. And what I mean by that is that you can turn these highs into true happiness by allowing it. And not trying to hold on to the feeling, not trying to go with your fear brain in the whole story about this needs to be more, or I need to hold on to this, or I should always feel this way. Just allowing yourself, oh, I feel really good right now. Then breathe deep, because that is the difference between anxious and excitement. So just breathe deep to your belly and be grateful. Be grateful that you are feeling it right now. And this is hard, especially in the beginning stages of healing the fearful avoidant attachment style, because you are just so starved. That's what it feels like for these good feelings, that you cannot bear that they will go away again. And they will. All of it, it will always happen. No matter how healed you are, good feelings will come and go, and that's totally fine. Because there's this unwavering peace that you feel that never really goes away. You know you don't need those feelings. So being grateful in the beginning is hard, but it really helps, being grateful for feeling good, even if it's just for a millisecond. Just be grateful. Your body can feel these things. That's wonderful. You are not broken. You are not broken. And if you feel them once, you can feel them again, and you don't have to work for them so hard. So you can definitely turn those highs into true happiness. You don't have to completely heal the fearful avoidant attachment style before you can experience true happiness. It really is closer than you think. And as you heal the fearful avoidant attachment style, you will notice that true happiness is just more and more there without you doing anything, and it feels darned good to not have to work for it anymore so hard, and to not be so anxious. So that's what obviously we are also tackling in the online program, Healing the Fearful Avoidant, which will launch in August. I will update you on when exactly. You can watch this video up here. And you can sign up for the waitlist. The link is in the description below. Then you will be the first to know when it does launch. And I am very curious whether you recognize any of this, whether you are ready for true happiness, for that peace and that calm and all those good feelings coming from within you. Not from somebody else, but from within you. You have that power. You have that feeling. True happiness awaits you. I am so happy you are here, and I will see you in the next one.